I want you to imagine, think of someone making $1.2 million a month. What do they look like? What business do you think they run? What do you think their days are like? How long would you guess they are working? Most people would say 12, maybe 14 hours a day, grinding endlessly. But what if I told you I do the complete opposite? Right now, I only work 4 hours a day, and with the other 20, I have been traveling through the Alps in France, mountain biking through Italy, and exploring the beauty of Japan, all while making $13.8 million this year, and I only work 4 hours a day. But it wasn't always like this. When I was 22, I was trapped in running a business that was running me into the ground. I thought I was living the entrepreneurial dream, but I was burned out and miserable. Fast forward to today, I built a life that I once thought was impossible. Complete freedom, traveling the world, staying in the best shape of my life, and making more money than I ever imagined. Here's the best part. I'm going to show you how I did it step by step. This is the exact framework I use to make more money while working less. It all comes down to mastering the 3 pillars of freedom, and I'll walk you through them right now. The first pillar is radical focus. Studies show that multitasking reduces productivity by 40%. Your business should have a singular focus. For example, at my company FounderOS, we're focused on creating the greatest founder community in the world. Our goal is to dazzle founders. We do this by creating profitable personal brands for founders. Radical focus doesn't just apply to your company, it also filters down to your team. You know, if you want to get to $10 million in revenue a year, you need every single person on your team to have a singular focus that ladders up to the overall company focus. Here's my org chart. Every single person on my team has a radical focus in their individual area. Let me give you a quick snapshot of what this looks like. Claire, my chief of staff, is radically focused on hiring. We have an aggressive hiring strategy over the next year, and Claire's in charge of making sure the job descriptions are ready, and we are hiring weapons. Next here is Hayden, my chief financial officer. Hayden is focused on cash flow, which is the lifeblood of our company. It's probably what you want your CFO focused on as well. Next aspect here is Don, the chief technology officer at FounderOS. He's radically focused on getting 500 leads per month, as I like the technology side of our business to be tightly coupled with the sales engine. Jake here, the CRO, is focused on getting us to $1 million in revenue per month, and we're so close. Next here, our director of marketing. Michael focuses on getting us to 120 high converting pieces of content per month and really feeding the overall content engine that we've been building at FounderOS. Thomas, our writer, absolute legend, focuses on 2 high converting pieces of content per day to make sure that platforms like X and LinkedIn are loaded up and driving people through CTAs to our FounderOS newsletter. On the next aspect here, Sarah, the legendary video editor that puts together so many of our amazing YouTube videos, is responsible for 1 high quality video per week. This allows her to focus on quality over quantity because quality is the ultimate pattern interrupt. Next here is Jordan, the brand strategist, who's our closer and responsible for getting 40 closed deals per month. And then we have the overall structure. So you can imagine how every single person I just went over goes and ladders up to the overall company vision. And you want to make sure that in your company, every single person has a core focus that ladders up to your radical focus as a company. And in any given year, I have 1 core focus myself. This year, my focus is on hitting $20 million in revenue across my portfolio of online businesses while working less than 20 hours per week. But leveraging a team of weapons is only half the battle to achieve radical focus. You also need to strategically leverage systems. The issue in many companies is that the founder is the only one that ends up creating systems, and it burns you out. And this becomes a single point of failure. If the founder leaves for a few weeks or gets busy, the house just begins to collapse. On a personal level, this is terrifying because everything relies on you. You feel like if you don't continue to document every little thing in your company, things are just become a massive mousetrap with you as the victim. How do you overcome this? You need to democratize the responsibility across your team and empower weapons to systemize their roles. Systems equal freedom. This is my team accountability chart. You can see that every single person on my team is assigned a core focus as well as systems they own and must have documented and kept up to date. This ensures that as we scale, we stay organized and I can sleep at night knowing the team is growing on autopilot. And the most powerful system I've ever created is the content GPS. It drives over $1 million a month to my online businesses. The content GPS system connects your audience to monetized offers via scroll-stopping strategic content that compounds your reach within your niche and industry. Content GPS is built into the third pillar of freedom, which I'll reveal really soon. For now, leverage weapons of their craft, empower them with systems, and move on to the hardest part of the first step, choosing what to focus on. To train your focus, you will need a framework, and this framework is the one that's helped me identify exactly what I should be focusing my attention on. Start with figuring out your zone of genius. Ask yourself, what do I naturally excel at? Where do I struggle? When am I in my element? From there, you can fill out this diagram for yourself and identify the core area in the top right that you should be most focused on in your business to provide the maximum amount of leverage. My focus early on in building my businesses was to grow my audience around my personal brand to over 2 million people in 1 year. It's both in my zone of genius and provides an insane amount of leverage to my portfolio of businesses. In the last 15 months, this radical focus on growing my audience has allowed me to build an audience of over 2.5 million people around my personal brand. Once you're clear on your zone of genius, you need to focus on mastery and drive it forward as much as possible every single day. Now that you're clear on what to focus on, let's focus on the next pillar, deep work. Deep work is sacred time that you have to work on stuff that only you can do. The secret to getting ahead of 99% of people in the next 30 days is your commitment to deep work. When you can achieve it, you'll easily see how 60 minutes of deep work does more for you than 8 hours of shallow work. Stop whatever you're doing, go to your calendar right now, and block off 4 hours daily for deep work. No phone, no social media. This is when your mind is freshest and the most creative. Protect this time at all costs. Here are 10 steps to protect your focus. This is my deep work routine. Number 1, turn off your phone, block off 4 hours a day to be completely free of distractions. I block off from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. daily. It's just me, my iced latte, a kind of music set on SoundCloud, and my computer. No phone, no social media. 2, practice mindfulness and meditate. Spend 10 minutes each morning to clear your mind. It primes you for a day of focus. I love this abundance meditation by Bob Proctor. 3, get more sleep. Entrepreneurs are athletes. Sleep is fuel for high performance. I make sure I'm in bed every night before 10 p.m. That way, I'm asleep by 11 p.m. and can get 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night. Sleep is the ultimate productivity juice. 4, take strategic breaks. You aren't a machine, you need to slow down. You can't be truly productive if all you do is work. Get outside, call a friend, explore, and get into nature. 5, connect with nature. So step number 5 is connect with nature. After doing that deep work for 4 weeks consistently, you need a break. I like to go and take a trip. I call it a soul trip. A soul trip is a chance to recharge and really revitalize yourself, because that bucket list isn't meant just to stay on a list. It's meant to actually check off. I've taken trips to Yosemite, traveled all the way through to Japan, and here we're just watching a Mexican volcano explode. Holy shit, bro. All right, film. For me, it helps me on a deeper level. I view it as a tool that helps me get clear, boost my creativity, get the juices and the mojo flowing again, really reduce things like burnout. I'd recommend that right now you look, say 3-4 weeks out, and you decide on what is your soul trip gonna be? What's that thing that you're gonna do to disconnect from the deep work and go and actually live life? Go block off your calendar, go book that trip, let's go. 6, exercise daily. Energy plus motion equals emotion. Exercise boosts testosterone, increases energy and focus, and raises your overall mood and well-being. Early in my entrepreneurial career, I neglected my health and I paid a price and found myself in a pit of burnout, depression, and despair. Movement is medicine. If you can push yourself daily, real magic happens. 7, listen to music. Here's my current Spotify playlist. The right music can help you get into a flow state and drown out any distractions. I have a dedicated deep work playlist with instrumental tracks that put me in the zone. Some of my favorite tracks are on SoundCloud from legends like Nora En Pure, Tim Green, and Lee Burridge. Number 8, eat well. Here's my daily health protocol and diet that I received from my health coach, Sadie, who is an absolute superwoman, and I couldn't recommend highly enough. Number 9, have fun. We've all been there, working on a task that is just killing us, boring, irritated, and we just want to move on. When you feel stuck, ask yourself, what would this look like if it were fun? And the anchor for all of your deep work, number 10, have a compelling mission. My mission is to help 100 million entrepreneurs accomplish their dreams through proven systems. Write down your mission and the goal of what you want to do in the next 90 days. Make your goals smart, where they're specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and time-bound. Now that you have your 4 hours of deep work scheduled in your calendar, let's move on to the next pillar. Number 3, your personal media company. Whether you know it or not, you have a personal brand. The question is, are you intentionally growing it? The future belongs to folks building a media company around themselves. This is the future of entrepreneurship. You are the media company. You own a community of raving fans and you control your distribution. Not Zuck, not Musk. A personal media company grows everything around you by completing 3 functions. 1, it drives attention to your products and companies. 2, it brings you a flood of customers and cash flow. And 3, it attracts top talent so you no longer need to chase new hires. Taking the first step boils down to 2 core actions: assembling weapons and calibrating your content GPS. Number 1 is to assemble weapons. But I'm not talking about this weapon. I'm talking about an obsessed individual who, when brought onto a company, has the ability to 10x their area. They go above and beyond to fulfill the mission, hire more weapons just like them, and elevate the culture and speed of innovation. Here are the areas that weapons can help you with: tech, sales, B-roll, photos, design, writing, filming, funnels, automations, operations, animations. You don't need all of these folks to get started. That would be kind of crazy. Here's what FounderOS looked like just 2 years ago. And then 4 months later, I recruited my first 3 weapons with cash flows I'd grown from my audience. Within a year, I was making over $200,000 in revenue a month. Fast forward to today, and this is what my company looks like. This rapid growth was all possible because I leveraged the most powerful system I've ever discovered, which leads me to step 2. Step 2 in kickstarting your personal media company is to calibrate your content GPS. The content GPS has helped me pull in over $20 million to my businesses over the last 5 years. I've done this while traveling the world and building an audience of over 2.5 million people around my personal brand, and all of this while only working 4 hours a day. The content GPS has 3 core components. Number 1, grow your audience across social media using proven audience growth systems. Number 2, create a compounding loop by owning your audience in your email list. And number 3, monetize your audience with offer systems. Most people mess this up. They create random content with no systems. That's the recipe for burnout and giving up. To drive all 3 components of your content system, you need to first focus on the next 3 steps. 1, you must have unique creator positioning. I am known online as the systems guy when it comes to growing an online business. When people think of me, they think of systems. What do you want to be known for online? 2, scroll stopping content. Establish 4 content categories. Mine are personal stories, personal branding, monetization systems, and audience growth systems. What are your 4 content categories? Next, you need to populate these categories with content ideas that are going to go and compel people to follow you, engage with you, and buy from you. And since we're entrepreneurs and not influencers, I've created a system so you never hit writer's block when thinking of what content to make. I call it the FounderOS Content Idea Machine. You must use this framework to come up with 30 amazing content ideas in just 30 minutes. You can steal it via the link in the description. All of this content then flows through the last part of the content GPS equation, the content funnel. I'm on Instagram, YouTube, X, LinkedIn, and TikTok driving thousands of leads to my businesses daily. I leverage my content waterfall system to make one piece of content and then distribute it over 30 pieces of content across all platforms. I do this with a small team and with the powerful systems that we've built.
And this is the key ingredient to making all of that content put money in your pocket. Intentionally place CTAs.
CTAs are links to your newsletter or product or service. I use all the social platforms to drive my audience on social media to my ConvertKit newsletter. My newsletter is a centralized place where I nurture my audience. I've created the best newsletter in the world for proven systems to grow your profitable personal brand. Every single week, I give away a free system to help you go and build your personal brand at record speed. All of these CTAs are attached to every single piece of content on a daily basis across all 5 platforms, maximizing the monetary return from my content. If you want to book a call with my team to see if you're a good fit for us to install a 100% custom version of the Content GPS into your business for you, you can check it out via the link in the description.